Let's paint a primitive snowman. Happiness is making friends. I'm going to use this Dollar Tree ornament sign, and we're going to use the back side of it. This was a discounted broken one, so I've already removed the top ornament piece with my putty knife. I'm going to put a base coat of midnight blue on the back side of this board. This is the midnight I'm using from Folk Art, and I'm just using what I call a base coating brush. So we've got our base coat, and as you can see, it's still kind of damp in this area. And the reason why is we want to take one drop of white, our dirty midnight brush, and we are blending that out. Yes, it's making a light blue, but no matter what you do, even if you use a light blue, you want to stay in the same color tone. And a lot of times the easiest way to stay in the color tone is just simply add white to the color you're already using. And what we want to do is we want to create some light in this background. It doesn't have to be a lot, but the reason why is our snowman is going to be white, and this is a snowy night, and so we'll have cascades and look like the wind is blowing, almost blowing the snow. So now we're going to build our snowman. Pre-dampen your brush to precondition it. So you just want to dampen the bristles. Make sure that you press out the excess. We're going to take our white and load our brush. Now, because he is a snowman, building a snowman, and then there's a tree here, I'm figuring he needs to be here, the snowman he's building here, and then the tree. Because this is a prim snowman, he's almost kind of square. Very simply just make him right here. This is a number 12 flat brush. And once you get him created and smooth it out pretty good, now for his head, it's just a round. We got to paint his friend that he is building, and it's just slightly shorter than him. Let's kind of give ourselves a little guide here. Now, he is putting the head onto his friend that he is creating. So we need to make it like a small ball that's just barely balancing. He's just barely getting it up there. Just push and pull, guys. Push and pull. So making sure that our snowmen dry real good, we're going to work on our tree. And I am using classic green. This is the multi-surface by Plaid, and I am using a number 6 round. Once again, dampen your brush, press out the excess very gently. And this is a primitive little tree that's outside, so I'm probably not going to need much more than what's in this lid. Area is right here behind our snowman, so just make a single stroke. Is when you're loading the round, make sure you roll it, unless you're just using the very tip of it. That way, when you're pulling, you're going to keep paint in it. Now, we are going to be using the tip on this. So, starting up here close, little commas. Now, remember, tree branches are not directly across from each other. So, however you need to do that, and then come way down. Pretty good distance on this one. And you can go inward or outward on these particular ones because of the way they're shaped. Make sure they crisscross on these next branches coming down. So since we started up there, we'll do the same here. These need to get longer because they are further down the tree. So let's go ahead and put a nose on our little primitive snowman. And this nose is really long because he's raising his nose up, so to speak. We're going to go way long for the nose. So I'm going to use my paint marker to create his scarf. and we kind of want to make it kind of thick, and we want it to kind of, you know, flow outward. Make sure your marker's good and flooded. Bring his scarf on out here. And for this part of the scarf, we want it to kind of like come down the back of him. So let's try to bring the tail down and make it wide. That'll give you the ability to make this one look broader. Now while that scarf is drying, let's create a star. And because the star's legs come out like a jack, like you're doing a jumping jack, and remember it's a primitive star, so it does not have to be perfect. And then you want to come in towards it. Add some light into our scarf. I think I'm going to use my Lagoon color by Waverly in order to put the blocks in between. I think it would just be very, very perfect and suitable for a primitive snowman scarf. Okay, we're going to use our black, and we're just going to give our snowman some eyes. Coals on his chest, and he also needs an arm that's putting his friend together. I'm going to use this lighter green on my tree just to give it a little bit of light so that it shows up more reflective. See, I'm doing one under, and then the next one I'm doing over. I have a brown. Let's see if that's going to help our snowman stand out a bit. Okay, so we want to write up here at the top, happiness is making friends. And we need to kind of watch our paint down here that we don't touch it. So what you can do is lay something across there so that you don't get your arm in there. Really, however you want it. It's not perfect because it is prim. A child wrote it almost. Now we need to kind of create some snowflakes. So we're going to make these kind of curlicues. Down here, we want to make like a ridge almost. Now to get that nose to set in just a little bit more, we'll go back over that where that black is and just paint the whole nose. And the color that I'm using is such a light pigmented orange that the black will bleed through. And I'm taking a little bit of watered down white there. I'm going to use my towel and take off the difference, and then I'm going to go through here where we put that blue, just kind of do some semi-dry brushing. Okay, now we're going to take our silver marker and we're just going to go in there and touch all those little curlies we did. Okay, if you're satisfied with your painting, now is the time to put a signature on it. Once this completely dries, you want to put a layer of Mod Podge. If you want it to look glossy and shiny, you can use the Mod Podge Luster. But if you want it to be matte, finish, and smooth, but remain like this, then use the regular Mod Podge matte. And don't forget to sign and date your work, no matter what. And I'm just using a Sharpie. Voila. So happiness is making friends. I'll finish this with standard Mod Podge after everything has dried really well to seal it and make it washable and cleanable. And I will also put the hanger piece back on here. Give it a thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. It helps my video to be served up to more people who might enjoy painting along the Happiness is Making Friends primitive snowman. Have a Merry Christmas until the next DIY or the next painting. I'll be crafting, y'all. Bye, guys. Grab your Dollar Tree items and we are going to make a bucket full of Christmas pigs using leftover wreath, greenery, and a snowman along with some ribbon. And we're going to basically update this little wreath into a candle ring. I've added picks of my choice, and without taking off my bucket handles, I just wrapped some ribbon around the sides of it and glued it into place. I created a bow, and then I took this little box and wrapped it with burlap and made it like a Christmas present without the tinsel. I wrapped some baker's twine around that burlap box, took one of the tags from Dollar Tree, and added it to my bucket as a pig. I used some floral styrofoam and I covered it with a piece of burlap, and then I began assembling it to make it just look absolutely adorable. But I ran into a problem right here. I forgot to take the price tag off. So I took a piece of burlap, glued it to the back of it, and voila, we have a beautiful little bucket full of Christmas pigs. Now this next one is a candy cane bouquet. And watch very carefully, about 1 inch down is where you want to assemble the first 2. And then you're going to begin adding the other ones. There are a total of 6, but make sure that it can lie flat and that when you assemble it, the 6 can be turned and arranged to where the last hook is facing you. Now once you get those glued together, and it will take some finessing and patience, you can then take you a beautiful pick and some berries and just make you a small bouquet. Create you a voluptuous bow, attach it to it, put a hanger on it, and voila, we have our bouquet. Now this next one is the ribbon spool top hat tower. I absolutely loved it. Now there's a total of 3. You're going to have this large one right here. But watch carefully how I disassemble the certain ribbon spools, and then I reassemble them so that the top hats are a large, a medium, and then a small. And so I'm just exchanging the ring and, of course, the spool. Now once you get those arranged the way you want them, you're going to still remove the bottom piece of the round, taking ribbon and cutting it to where it overlaps the edges and remove the wire. Once you get that done, you can begin gluing your ribbon around the outer radius and then cover it, of course, with ribbon. You'll do all the pieces, so make sure that when you cap the top, you overlap it, then glue it down. Once you glue the 4 corners and around the edges, you'll then wrap it with a piece of ribbon, and that'll cover up all the raw corners. You'll glue that to the top, and voila, you have your first large hat. The next one will be your medium size, and then last but not least, the little burlap one is the small one that will go up top. Now I took greenery and glued it to the side and added some berries. This next part is where it gets a little bit of patience you're going to need. You're basically going to glue the underneath in the center and lean it awkwardly at a 45-degree angle to the side so that it tips over. But then the top one, the very little one on top, is actually going to be sitting straight up, but on the side edge of your center one. And go back and put some reinforcement glue there. And voila, we have our top hat tower. And it's just gorgeous. I love this thing. It's my favorite. Now this one is the tin can snowman. So all those cans you got from Christmas, and along with those eyeballs from Halloween, a little bit of the wired jute twine, and some leftover fur from one of the Dollar Tree pillows. Now this crop a dowel is one of my favorite tools. It punches through metal, cardboard, wood, and you will find the affiliate link below. Now I took the fleece scarf from Dollar Tree and I put one around the top edge overlapping to the inside. Now this bottom one, once I put it on, when you get right here to the end, I want you to take your scissors, snip a hole right there, cut off the excess, and then cut in between the longest piece on the left side. Run one side into the hole, and you will then cut off the difference that you don't need. Now you're just going to basically tie a knot there, and make sure it is a knot and the rest of it's glued into place, and this will make a little scarf around the bottom edge. This is very primitive. So now we're going to take the eyeball and we're going to glue it in the center of that fur, fake fur. And then once you get that glued all about, trim it off with some scissors, glue it to the side, and now your tin snowman has some earmuffs. Take a bell and glue it to the side of that scarf. And then some little felt pieces I found. I made his eyes and his smile. And I grabbed me some orange and made his little nose. I'd already run the G-twine, wired G-twine through the top for his handle. And then I took the little stars off the snowflakes to make his cheeks. And then one of the felt snowflakes atop. I also took a piece of that orange left over just for some reinforcement. And now our tin snowman has a handle. And he is so adorable. Oh my goodness, he's perfect for holding utensils. Now these things that we had during the year from fall, this is one of the bundles from Dollar Tree. And just sprucing it up, I wrapped it with burlap and my beautiful ribbon from Christmas. I had an extra candle, so I just took a piece of burlap and wrapped around it. And I didn't uncover my candle because I wanted to be able to use it later and preserve its scent. I wrapped some ribbon around that burlap and glued it into place, and the paper on the candle protected it. I had a candle ring that I'd gotten from Dollar General. I took one of the ribbon spool tops off and made me a little arrangement on top and glued that to the paper part on top of the candle. And voila, I had me a little decoration there. Now this next was the mason jar sign, which I absolutely love from Dollar Tree. But the green was the wrong green to match everything, and I had these velvet poinsettias. So I took the holly leaves and cut a couple and glued them, and basically glued these flowers and the holly leaves in place of the one that's painted on this little mason jar. And just be real careful and just glue them strategically so it covers basically the paper in the background, because you can always tear this off and make a new arrangement. And isn't it gorgeous? Just adorable. You can do this so easy. Now the truck we built earlier this year in the fall with the wood cutouts, I took the Christmas gift tags, the one with the fresh trees, trimmed it up, and the sticky backs that come on these tags, I just took them off the rear one, placed it on the back of it, and trimmed it out and fitted it for my little blue truck doors. Now I have my fresh cut trees signs on the side of my truck. I took those little burlap hay bales, placed it inside, took one of the trees and a small Christmas pick and filled up the back of my truck. Now I need a wreath, so I took a piece of that wreath greenery and it's wire, so just twist it around and create a wreath. Now you're going to have to trim it down because it's really bushy. Once you do that, take you a little bit of the baker's twine, create you a little bow, and glue it to that little wreath. But before you're done, take your sticky dots or your sticky squares from Dollar Tree and just take one of them and glue it to the back of that wreath and then place it on the front of your truck, just like those riding around town nostalgically. And voila, we have our little blue truck. Now this one is the vintage Bell Christmas tree. I wanted this really bad, so I took one of the Dollar Tree signs and I Mod Podged it. I cut me 2 pieces of that little red truck with the fresh green trees, wrapping paper, Christmas wrapping paper, Mod Podged it to it. Now if you'll watch real carefully, when you fold the corners here, This is going to create the fold that you will need to overlap, so you are covering the back and in the center of your box, because this is basically a shadowed picture. You're going to put Mod Podge on the front and back. When you get ready to do the inside, cut the corners out as I'm showing you right here. Just cut that whole corner out. And once you get all 4 corners cut out, you can Mod Podge it into the bottom of your box. Now, if you're enjoying these videos, subscribe to the channel and don't miss out on future videos that follow all through the season where we do DIYs. And please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. That helps me and YouTube to know you like the video, and they'll show it to more people. Now take your nostalgic bells. You're going to assemble all of these bells in the order. I took one of the stars from the little wood blocks and a piece of branch from the yard and assembled my tree. And that little wood star is at the very top. And I took a gold bell just on the side, just like the M&M's commercial with the little bell that stands out. So Merry Christmas, guys, and until the next DIY, well, I'll be crafting y'all. Welcome to Dandysoap DIY, and Merry Christmas. Let's do some country Christmas projects, starting with the vintage button tree. Now this handy little frame here I got from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to cover it with some black felt. That'll really make the buttons stand out and pop. And once I glued it into place, I then trimmed it. But make sure that you use Mod Podge. I used hot glue, and later on I seen I should have used Mod Podge. Now I'm just taking some cord here to outline where to put the buttons and just leave it in place for the time being. And I'm using wooden buttons. I bought a package of 100. They're assorted sizes, and it will take you a few minutes to figure out and get it the size that you need. So you'll need to work at this. It's not as easy as it looks. It will take some ingenuity and a little thinking and adjusting. And once you get everything kind of fitted and as broad as you want it, then decide on getting some color buttons to make like lights. I would not move them until I begin gluing them, and leave them where they are. When you get them glued, then you can go back and put in the colored buttons, and just move your cord out of your way once you've gotten all of your surface ones in place. Now I had a little tin star, and I painted it and made it a little brighter and glued it on there. And then I decided to put some verbiage, and rather than using stickers on this felt, I used my glitter glue sticks and wrote out the words with a marker and then followed it with the hot wax. She turned out absolutely beautiful. It is very stunning, and it looks so vintage and nostalgic. Now here's a clever little idea to make your own potpourri tree. This is a high-end item. This runs about $40 if you buy one, so I figured I'd make one. I took some of my chicken wire and I cut it to the size that I wanted. I wanted just a shorter tree. You can make these very tall if you like. And you'll just shape it and form it till you get it just right. It will take you a minute, but take your time, be patient with yourself. And I wanted mine the diameter, the bottom of my lid of a Tostitos salsa jar. Now you see me placing the potpourri inside there. What you will figure out is, yes, it will fall through the holes, but as you pack down potpourri, it will settle. It'll find its own spot where it feels very comfortable, and then just place the other ones back inside, just as I did. Now, as you can see here, I grabbed me a tin can and propped it in it. This will give me an opportunity to get my lid situated. And once I sized it, I took a black paint marker and, of course, painted the sides that would be visible. Hot glued it on, and you'll just turn it just like you're screwing on the lid. And as you can see here, it is packed down really, really good, and you just work it and keep packing. And I used the whole package on mine. Now I put some E6000 in 2 spots and then hot glue in the other. And this was just a small little miracle. I literally landed that thing on there just right the first try. And I was so happy because of the hot glue. And voila, we have our beautiful potpourri tree. This is flameless scenting. Now next, I did take that little Tostitos sauce jar and decided to decorate it up. Grabbed my black and white checkered ribbon and its fabric, glued it on, and I had this Merry Christmas I had gotten last year and just put it on the jar. I had black cord, wrap it around the top there. You could use jute twine, which looks beautiful. And I had these little picks from the package I got from Dollar Tree. And so I just kind of put me a little bit of greenery and the little mini pine cones. So here's you an idea. Take the lid off your Mod Podge and glue it in the bottom to create a surface. Put your faux snow and then put your tea light on top. This is the 2-in-1 wooden star, and I saw a Pinterest that inspired me. So I seen the one from Dollar Tree, and I saved the jute twine. The way it's strung is kind of unique. So what I decided to do, and you are going to love this, I painted mine the elephant chalk paint, dry brushed it with the white, and took a pencil and wrote out my words. Stay to the right side. On the right angle of every side of the star, you'll write your word. And on the center one, I put Mary. So the first angle here, I'm putting believe. And then peace. And I did this with my white paint marker. I did my love, my joy. And the joy is running vertical. And then I did Christmas. So I wanted you to see some different ideas with this. So if I leave it just like this, which is beautiful, and I took the Mary and my black marker and just blackened it on the sides. This way you don't even have to dry brush it with a paintbrush, and you just rub it and it'll give it that smudge look. So here's your first idea. You can put them together, use them separately. And on the Mary, I did a little more 3-dimensional with my paint marker. Put some holly on it with my paint markers as well. This one is a lighter green paint marker, but it's all I had, and it looked really nostalgic and vintage. I had this left over from another Dollar Tree item that I tore off. Put it on there, and it looks great. Now here's you another high-end item that I've come up with a great idea. These are the 3D chunky trees. I took the black foam core board. You could use white if you like. One side you're going to measure 10 inches, the other side 7 inches. Then you'll create your triangle. So you need to decide how wide you want your tree to determine how tall. And you'll just draw your line from the side of the width to the top point and make them both meet. So here's the idea. Use wrapping paper and glue it on there with Mod Podge. Once you Mod Podge the outer part, you're going to trim off the difference. Give it a moment, just trim it roughly until you get your upper coating of your Mod Podge. So you'll do the paper to it, then you'll put your coating on the outside, let it dry. Grab your sponge, your sanding sponge, and just do the sides at an angle just like I'm doing. I had a tear here, and that was just fine because it really turned out nice. I just Mod Podged it back. I got a little too rough with my sanding sponge. Took the stain, the antique stain, and went down the edge, and you could use a black magic marker. Glue the small one on the top, wrap it with jute twine. And these turned out so gorgeous. They look totally high-end. The high-end ones cost about $44 a set. You might get them on sale and find them cheaper, but you can make this with your own gift wrap paper. I glued a bell on it, and I took a spool and wrapped it with a paper to make my easel. So here I have you a bonus Christmas ornament. You are going to love it. Grab those buttons again that you may have used making your button tree. on the felt and get your floral wire, or any wire. If you have the wired G-twine, you could just pull the wire out. Create you a small little loop in the bottom just to hold it. Choose 4 small ones or more that are the same size for the trunk. And then for the tree, find ones large, medium, and small to the tiny one on top. And literally slide them down that wire and stack them together. I had some wooden stars that my husband had cut me out, and the extra wire wrap around the star to secure it. And that is going to make it into this adorable little Christmas tree ornament. And of course I put a G-twine hanger. And it's just lovely. So if you enjoy these DIY videos, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate when you subscribe to the channel and join the DIY team. And here they are, our array of all our projects we did for our country Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. Until the next DIY, well, I'll be crafting, y'all. Merry Christmas and have a great New Year. Welcome to Dandysoap DIY. This first one is the Angel Wings Wreath, and I am so excited to share it with you. Get you one of the tiles from Dollar Tree, and using your Waverly White chalk paint, as well as the ink, which is the black, we're going to update this tile without a shine. The silver is beautiful if you desire to use it. I wanted a more vintage feel, and I am designing this for year-round. So stick around, because I am going to share with you a way that you can change out this wreath and keep it up year-round. For all of those who have asked me for angel wings, anything with angels, this video is for you. I have you 3 projects. You're going to place 2 coats of white after that black, and grab you one of the 11 by 11 square signs from Dollar Tree, spritz it with water, and grab your putty knife, and you can truly remove the signage, and it gives a smooth board. What's excellent about this is you can trace your pattern onto it. You will find the free pattern link in the description box down below. It is the proper size to fit a 11 by 11 square. Once you get both of your wings traced, paid attention there, I flipped it over because you will need a left wing and a right wing. You can print the single pattern on an 8 by 10 sheet and then flip it over so that you get your mirrored effect. Now go ahead and take and cut it out with your jigsaw. You'll find an affiliate link for the one I use down below. When you have it back on your table, place a coat of white paint on both sides, front and back. The reason being is you also need to cut a small little piece to attach your wings together. Now we've got our tile here, and we have our actual boards cut with our coat of paint. Let's go ahead and trace that back onto the tile square. You're using the actual wings now, and this way you get a more accurate cut. Pay attention to make sure you do your left wing and your right wing so that you don't get messed up. Now cut it out, and what's really cool about this adhesive tile is even though the adhesive is not sticking around, we now have a more firm template. You can keep that forever and just mark it left and right. There, you make more wings. We have our tile, and we just want to check them against the wood before we go any further. But it's real important that you not forget that we need to center these up, and the small piece that you cut and painted that's going to attach your wings together, we need it centered really well. So use your ruler, and the way this pattern is cut, it's almost square down at the bottom, so you'll get a straight edge. Only place the hot melt glue where it will be touching your wings. Now we're attaching them, so flip it over and give it its glue insurance just down the sides where the wood is touching. So now we are ready to adhere the actual tile to the boards. Grab some Gorilla Glue, your E6000 or Loctite, whichever your heavy-duty super adhesive is of choice. I wouldn't recommend super glue on this particular project. For one, you are using an MDF board and not real wood, and you're also using a plastic tile. Now, you want to move really swiftly in placing your hot melt glue around the edges so that it will adhere immediately, and then overnight, your heavy-duty adhesive is going to cure out, and these wings won't ever come apart. You will have them forever. And the great thing is, you'll be able to put a sealant on it if you desire to put it outside. Now I'm showing you the clear wax method, and when you use your clear wax, use your wax brushes, and a small amount is all you need, and massage it in really well because it's going to be tacky as it dries. Now we're going to make a saddle. Grab you 2 paper clips, large preferably, and fold them out. Get you a foam from Dollar Tree and cut it in half out of the foam brick. And you want to use the dry one, not the wet one. Grab the foam glue from Dollar Tree, and this is the most excellent glue I've ever used on foam, and it won't degrade it or melt it. And it gives you enough working time. So you're going to place your bent out paper clips down inside your foam brick. Place your foam glue there as well. So check it against your attachment of your wings, and then slide the paper clips all the way down flush. This way you can bend it and make sure that they hook on it and they stay flush to your wings. Grab some craft paper while your foam glue is still damp and press it on there. This will give double insurance that those paper clips are not coming out. And here I'm going to show you, this is how fast they attach. There you go, voila. So grab your hot melt glue and place it around it. That's triple insurance. These hooks aren't ever coming out. And your greenery is not going to be that heavy. Go to Walmart, and I recommend getting this 9-foot garland for $20. This is budget friendly. Tons of greenery to do all your Christmas decorating. And you'll undo the twine when you clip them off and start arranging it on your wreath. There we go. We have now adorned it with our greenery. She is absolutely beautiful, and you see no foam. The wonderful thing is you'll be able to slide this saddle off and change it out and make you another saddle for spring, summer, fall, 4th of July, special occasions, you name it. And here we are, our beautiful angel wing wreath. Thank you, Carrie of Canterbury Cottage. Next up is the angel ornament. Many of you have asked me for angels, and especially an angel ornament. So this year, the angel ornament, we're going to use leftover macrame cord or yarn and one of the foam hearts from Dollar Tree. This one, you would usually run a ribbon through the pierced holes. We're just going to cut it up to that center hole so it makes our wings for our angel. Grab your yarn and or macrame cord of your desire. You could use a pearl or a wooden bead as the head for the angel. And I'm going to show you a different way to do the angel head so that your strands don't separate. Now bear with me, I am showing you an actual measurement. I am recommending your strands be at least 15 inches long, 12 at the least. If you have small hands, 12 will work. Go ahead and run jute twine through your bead or pearl. And when you tie it, one strand is going to be going down one side of that bead, and then you're going to tie the knot to keep it in place. This will be hidden, no need to worry. Lay your strands out. Get as many as you want. There's no specific amount. Everyone's desire is different, and therefore I didn't give you a count of how many strands I used because you might be using yarn. Get one and bend them in half and tie it in the center with another piece of your yarn or cord. It's important that you do this step and watch closely what we do. I have the center, and now I am separating it on the sides. And the reason why I want this to happen is I don't want those strands to separate when I make the angel. So now I'm going to take and just place the bead in the center. I'm not tying the strand down. I put a knot in the top. This will become my hanger. Now smooth all of your strands down around your bead or cord and keep the cord straight. If you're using a pearl, same difference. Now you're going to use another piece of yarn to tie it taut just below your bead. And therefore, once you accomplish this, you'll have no strands separating and you'll have a smoother head on your angel ornament. Get all your strands going smoothly and slide up your cord as tight as you can to your wood bead. Once you've got that in place, tie it into a knot. And please, don't do what I did. I tied it, then I ended up having to turn my knot to the back. So make sure you flip it over and tie the knot in the back once you've gathered those strands together underneath your bead. And then that way, you will not have to struggle with it. On the sides, pick up 2 strands on the left and plaid them. You can braid if you like, but the plaid is all I did. And I just wound them together, twisted them over top of each other, and grab 2 on the right and do the same thing. You'll just plaid them. What we're doing here is we're creating our angel's arms. And if you don't want arms on the angel, you don't have to. If you want to make them bend and curl them up, you can use a piece of the wire from out of your ribbon and run it in there when you plait it, and then you can bend her arms and shape them. But they looked very nice hanging down. Now, once again, it's going to take you a hot minute to make this angel ornament. I will just tell you, I am a fusser when it comes to getting them all straight. I want those strands looking a certain way. So if any of you have that same OCD, this is a project you're going to enjoy because you'll be smoothing and smoothing and smoothing. Now you'll come about 1 inch down and you're going to tie the strands together again. This creates the waist. And once you're satisfied with that, you want to clip off the difference from where you created the hands. And if you notice there, I went back and tied a piece of jute twine in the waistline over top of my gathering strand because I wanted that more rustic angel ornament. And now you're combing this down. If you have a pet brush, a lot of people use it. I have a fine tooth comb I'm using here, and trim it. And this is why I recommended at least 15-inch length strands, because when you fold it in half and they're hanging down, you're going to be working on this and you'll get it just right. Once you're satisfied, put a dot of glue on the hands to the waistline, and don't go crazy, just a little bit. And now you can place the wings on the back, and you'll glue these where you tied underneath the bead for the neck. And voila, we have our angel made. Grab you one of the silver tinsel stems or Chanel stem and create you a halo. And there again, you can create the halo out of beads, anything. This would be so beautiful. Adorn it with greenery. Absolutely gorgeous. If you haven't subscribed to Dandysoap DIY, hit the subscribe button and join my DIY team. And then if you like this video and enjoyed this angel, click the like button. Hit that thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Lets me and YouTube know you enjoyed the video. So next up, let's make these 3 angels. And these are vintage angels. These wood angels were given to me by my daughter when she was a little girl. I've had them for many years. The free pattern link I created for you off of these originals. And you will find that link in the description box down below. Once you have cut these out, you could cut these out with a jigsaw, and the pattern will be printed on an 8x10 sheet of paper, and it will produce 3 of these angels. So you can cut more or less. Now, stick around. I want to share you a new technique on how to get a distressed look, vintage look, and have these vintage, rustic looking wooden angels using a chippy brush. You can get these at Dollar Tree. And when you're using your chalk paint on them, you're just hitting the rough sides. But as you watch me, when I apply my paint, I'm going in one direction. I'm not going back and forth. I'm not going sideways. I am pulling that paint down in one single direction. What this will do is give it that distressed look as though they were sanded. Now, I measured out my center and it is 3 by 1.5. I went to my cutting machine. I have a Brother Scan and Cut, and I created letters based on what's in the marketplace that is current. And the most popular ones that are selling for $20 a set, wooden angels. Actually, they're not wooden, they're MDF board. These are actual cut out of 2x4, and it's real wood. And I chose Faith, Love, and Hope, my 3 favorites, all year round, including Christmas. I think that it takes faith, great love, and when you have faith, you have hope. And this is what Christmas is all about. These are beautiful. I am creating them for you. If you copy what I'm doing, you will be able to keep them year round. And if you wrap your jute twine around that about 3 times and leave a long tail, you can run the tail underneath them, then tie it in a knot. It will not slip, slide, or come off, unlike those that you may end up purchasing in the box store. Clip the tails and you have your angels ready. If you need to, you can slide those strands over to one side so that your tie knot is on one side. Now that greenery I spoke about and recommended on budget friendly to purchase at Walmart, you can also get some of the reindeer moss from Dollar Tree and make the halos and use a few strands of greenery, and this will match those you see in the marketplace. As I said, this set of angels sells at the cheapest around $20 a set. You can make these with scrap wood, and this can be a beautiful palette project or scrap wood project. All of the angels, including the angel wing wreath, place your greenery just underneath that jute twine. And I created me just a small little bit. I actually took clippings from the longer strands of the bundles that are on that garland. And when you unwrap them, you get all that greenery as I showed before. And voila, here they are. Faith, hope, and love. I wish you nothing but that during the whole year and Christmas. Thank you all for all your support and love of my channel. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Until the next DIY, this is Elizabeth, and I'll be crafting y'all. Merry Christmas. May angels be among you always. DIY. This is Dollar Tree Reindeer DIY and also primitive Christmas ornaments. These beautiful wood-looking reindeer from Dollar Tree are easy to make, and we're going to be practicing a technique that you're going to enjoy and use a lot more so you can enjoy these reindeer year-round. So let's get started with project number 1, Dollar Tree reindeer. Fix some hot soapy water and scrape off the glitter. That will prepare these plastic reindeer from Dollar Tree. Now I'm using Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint, but you can use your Waverly as well. And to begin with, we're only going to paint the antlers white. The rest of the reindeer will remain its color, which is like a brown plastic color. And once we've coated these antlers, that's going to prepare it to have this effect that breaks through when we do the crackle. We're going to use the Elmer's glue, school glue technique, and it's real easy to do. This one is rather thick, but you can use the regular Elmer's glue or the Jolt glue from Dollar Tree and just coat it over the reindeer. Now, as you can see here, I have it really, really thick, and this is not necessary, but let me explain. Stay tuned and you'll understand. But the first thing to remember is when it's thick like this and it is staying white, thick coated, it is one, it's self-leveling. And number 2, what this does is you get these large crackles. Whenever the glue begins to dry, it contracts. And whatever is underneath is what's going to show through your cracks. So if you're a beginner and you've never done the crackle technique or you've never used the glue crackle technique, just know the thicker the coat, the larger the crackle. The thinner the coat, the smaller the crackle. So if you're looking for something that just looks like cracked paint, then put it on thin. If you want it thick, like this wood crackle effect, you'll put it on thick. And you do not double back when you apply your white paint onto the glue, because we want the dark brown to show through to make it look truly like wood paint that's cracked. We're just putting it on there. It's going to be thick, and just get it on there. Do not double back and do not stroke the paint. Just apply it. So this thick layer is going to take an additional time to dry, but you'll understand as we go along. So next, take your black and apply it to your antlers, or whichever color you desire. This would also look good with gold, beige, or brown, or even a taupe color to truly mimic the reindeer antlers. To bring this up to date and make it very modern in the black and white farmhouse style, this is why I'm doing mine black and white, so I can keep them up year round. And these look really, really good in a contemporary setting as well as a very country southern setting. Rustic and beautiful. So take your heat gun, and it's going to be sticky, so you want to get it off that paper and begin drying it. Now this will need additional drying time, but this will speed up the process and give you an idea of what to expect and what you're looking for. And I wanted you to enjoy seeing this magic occur. And as soon as the heat begins drying it, the glue begins to contract. So if you get a little smudge like I did there, it's easy to fix. Just rub it gently with your finger and then continue drying, and you won't even notice it. I actually did this in 2 different places on this reindeer, and it's never detected. But remember, it's going to be rubbery, flexible glue underneath that needs additional time. So set it aside and let it completely dry. Once you do, you can adorn it and embellish it. And I've chosen the jute twine to wrap around mine. Do it a couple of times if you're going for this look, and tie it into a knot and leave the tails. This reindeer looks exceptionally beautiful with ribbon, bells, anything that you wish to adorn, and you can change it out from season to season. I have done a previous video. I will make sure to link the iCard above and put it in the description box down below, and you can see the first set of reindeer I did. These Dollar Tree reindeer are the ones for this year, which are smaller, and they can fit in more places. The other ones are large, and I actually have them attached to my front porch railing during Christmas. Add a few sprigs of greenery, and that is it. We are done. And voila, we have this beautiful set of reindeer. I have one running from the left and one running from the right. And I truly enjoyed doing these reindeer. They're just absolutely gorgeous. So content, I will be using them year round. Do you a set of Dollar Tree reindeer. Do-it-yourself primitive ornaments. You are going to enjoy this one. It is the stocking and the Santa cap, and later on we'll be doing some ice skates. So the primitive template, I have for you a link in the description box down below. So you want to choose your fabric and cut 2 of each shape, and you can lay these together. They don't take up a lot of fabric, and you can sew or glue them. You'll also need some strip of fabric to go at the top edges. So I've already sewn mine, and I've gotten me 2 bells, a small one and a large one. Grab some polyfill or repurpose a pillow stuffing and get the filling, and make sure that you fluff it out before you stuff it into these small ornaments. These are great gifts and excellent to go on gifts. Get you some greenery and put that together. And I also did some berry from berry garland. Now I used felt to trim out the top edge of the little stocking. The primitive stocking is slender and awkward and not just right because you've hand cut it out and made it using what you have. That's why we call them primitive. They'll be odd shaped. And I do my easy measure math. I just wrap it around it, decide how much I need it, snip it, and then I make sure I double it. When you are gluing it onto the top of the stocking, you also have the option to sew this part on. But I did glue it with my Sure Bonder glue, and it was just fine. It works just great, and they're so adorable, absolutely adorable. Here's the thing about primitives. You can use these year-round. Now, if you use your large eye needle, I get these at Walmart or Hobby Lobby, and I keep a pack of them in the craft room. It's real easy to draw your needle through that with your jute twine, and then put your bell on, then tie it off. And I tie mine 3 or 4 times because it's right at the edge of the felt that's trimming the stocking. You can put this wherever you like. I want you to bear in mind, if you are brand new and you are new to DIY, you can be able to watch this video in length. And I am gluing my greenery down in the center of this stocking. Just a small bit, because you can change that out as the years go by. You can stuff this with some more polyfill to make it fill out after you get your greenery inside. Now, bear in mind that you can use these year-round, and you don't have to worry about putting them up come Christmas. That's what's unique about the primitive crafts if you do the rustic primitive decor. These are great Christmas gifts. They're great to adorn gifts with, and they're great just sitting around in your tier tray or about your home. They just give it this warm welcome. You can take cinnamon and place it on these, grubby them up with some Mod Podge and cinnamon mixed together, or even some coffee ground, instant coffee, and dilute it and Mod Podge. And I capped mine with this little candy cane ornament. Do-it-yourself primitive Santa cap ornament. Now, this one is already cut out from our previous set, and once again, you'll fill it with some polyfill. Now, as you see, this is a crook cap. It kind of reminds you the night before Christmas. And remember, you want to go ahead and get that polyfill down in those slender areas. Do your easy measure math by bringing your fabric, muslin, or felt works great for this part, and that you can grubby these up. Now, if you use an instant coffee grubbing, you basically dilute the instant coffee and make it strong. Add some Mod Podge, and then you apply it to your fabric and or felt areas. You can also do tin cans, metal of that sort. You do have the option to do fabric and plastic, and I will be doing some videos later on showing you how you can grubby with instant coffee. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, well, join me. Click the subscribe button. And by all means, even if you don't subscribe, make sure that you give me a thumbs up, like this video. It helps me a lot. I really appreciate you sharing me that way, so others will have the opportunity to enjoy this video as well. Now, share this video and pin these on Pinterest, because this is a Pinterest inspired ornament. So the primitive ornaments are really popular, and I've been making them for years. I keep them around. They're part of my regular home decor. So be sure to save this video to your playlist and bear it in mind to make your primitives, or use it as a video to go by on how you can make some primitives and really truly give them that feel. I did not grubby up these particular ornaments in this video, but we will be doing the ice skate, so stay tuned. I added some greenery and some berries. The berry garland I got from Walmart is a 30-foot length, so definitely grab you some of that. You'll use it continuously. And glued it onto the cap. I had originally entertained putting a patch on the cap and changed my mind. I grabbed one of my wooden stars and glued that on and truly give it the primitive look. And be strategic about where you place your hanger for these ornaments because of their weight, and that way you can counteract that. Thumbs up if you're liking this video, and voila, here these beauties are. So gorgeous, excellent for decor and gifts. Do-it-yourself primitive ice skates. You are absolutely going to love this, and they look adorable year-round and laying around. So I have you a link in the description box down below for this template, and the fabric I'm using is the white fat quarter from Dollar Tree. The template I drew myself, so you want to cut 2 pieces per skate. So if you're just doing 1 skate, you'll just do 2, and if you're doing 2 skates, do 4. Sew and glue it together, and then make sure you press these. This is a little bit larger template because, well, they're mimicking ice skates. And what's really cool about these ice skates is you can put them on a reef. You can hang them on the wall as they are and decorate with them. You can put them on your tier tray or just about anywhere. Fill them with polyfill as you did the previous ornaments. And we're going to make these look more primitive. You can add and embellish and adorn these as much as you like, but make sure that you glue it closed at the top. We're going to do something a little bit extra on this, and you're going to be so impressed and amazed. You're going to really, truly want to make a set to keep around. This looked great with your winter Christmas DIYs, and just to give you a hint, this is my plan. I've always wanted to make a set of these. Once again, this is a Pinterest-inspired ornament, and it was sitting about a tier tray. I make these for my booth, so this is also another item that you can make to sell. Go ahead and use some antiquing wax or some of your burnt umber that's watered down and grubby these up. You could do this with a cinnamon mixture or even an instant coffee mixture, and use your chippy brush. It makes them look better. I've already pre-rusted my bells. For those of you who haven't pre-rusted bells before, you will soak them in white distilled vinegar overnight. Take them out, but do not remove the white vinegar, and allow them to air dry. The oxygen will oxidize and help them to rust, and the more they're exposed, the more rusty they'll become. If you want them more rusty, put them back into the white distilled vinegar, and once again, let the oxygen of the air get to them. I've also known that dishwashing them works too, especially if you heat dry. A lot of times it can rust them, but not as well. So sew your bells on to the front. You can put the big rusty bells, which I offer on my website. You can do these small ones. You can do different colored ones. It is truly up to you. Customize them and make them yours. And I really, truly loved grubbying these up. Once you sew your bells on, go ahead and get you some extra jute twine if you make a set of 2. Once again, you could do 1. You could actually do a crisscross stitching down the front of it to make it look like shoestrings or ice skate shoestrings. And as you can see, I tied one end of the jute twine, ran it through the other, doubled it back, and tied it again. This way, they will not only have enough difference to hang about, you can lay them side by side, facing each other, away from each other, however you like, and give yourself that budge room, that wiggle room, so you can do that. And they just look absolutely gorgeous. I am so in love with these. So get you some thin wire. This thin wire is identical to what we take out of our ribbon, the wired edge. So do not overthink this. Get that needle we've been using all along with the large head. Put the wire through it, and then about 1 inch from the rear of your bottom, right in the seam there. That's why I'm showing you this. And if you're new to DIY, you'll be able to enjoy this whole tutorial and know how to do it from start to finish. Those of us who are a little more experienced, you may speed through this video. That is your option. I wanted to make sure that anyone who watched this video would be able to do this project from start to finish without any questions on what to do. Now allow yourself a long tail, about 3 inches or better. It depends on it. But see how we're coming backwards and then curling the front? That's going to work better. I have done it the other way where you turn it under itself. But either way, the idea is to make it look like it is a blade on your ice skate. And the curliness makes it primitive. Gives it that true primitive appeal and look. And then the back one, of course, you will wind it under. And it's a little bit longer, and that's okay. These are your ice skates. Make them the way you like them. Truly, leave me a comment down below. Let me know which one of these projects is your favorite. Which one did you enjoy the most? And what more would you like for me to do on the channel? If you want me to do more primitives and show you more items like this, I would love that. But let me know in the comment box. Tell me what you think. What's your favorite? And voila, here we go. This is what it looks like. Is that not the most adorablest thing you ever seen? So cute. Now, I didn't put you through it, but I did my second one. But I do want to show you this as a tip. This is how you make them look even. Lay them beside of each other. The needle is long, so you can put the needle in, and you can hold it there momentarily until you put the needle to run out the other end and about the same amount as the one you've already done. And now we have them made. They are absolutely gorgeous. Be sure to save this to your playlist so you can refer back to it very quickly and make you a set of ice skates. These are great gifts, great winter, Christmas, or winter DIYs. And here they are. The best part is always the reveal. On my tier tray, new addition to my home decor, and Dandysoap DIY wishes you all a very, very safe Merry Christmas. And we will be doing lots more. Here are our dear, and I appreciate thumbs up, share it with a friend, and subscribe to the channel. I know I'm asking you to do a lot all at one time, but it's important to get the word in to let you know how important you are to me. You're all my favorites, and I adore you all. Thank you so much. This is an excellent gift for our hunters, Father's Day, and those who enjoy the woodland decor. And until the next DIY, well, I'll be crafting y'all. And watch the next video.